Since you came into my life, baby, floating on a cloud, you've been more than a lover. You are my friend, and with you by my side, I know I can win. Feels like love for the very first time. Girl, you know you blow my mind. Ooh, oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Listen. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. My everything, my everything, my everything, baby. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, feels like love for the very first time. Girl, you know my mind. Oh, again. Girl, I'm falling for you, baby.
Okay, it's the Real Now Podcast. Celebrating Juneteenth on the Avenue of Fashion. Bring it down.
Here I go.
Great. Celebrating Juneteenth on the Avenue of Fashion. And today, we have with us Miss Stacy Johnson from Stacy J Productions. We're going to have a very interesting conversation today on the topic of sex trafficking, human trafficking. So, Stacy, welcome to The Real Nonsense. Chris and Crystal. So we all here together. We'll have a good conversation.
All right. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. So you're an artist with a cause. Educate, entertain, and minister. Tell us about that.
Well, when we tackle plays, I call it edutainment. And we tackle plays. We've tackled plays about teen pregnancy, juvenile delinquent, Alzheimer's, and our latest current play is A Dream Deferred, and we've taken that play into school districts, churches, and community organizations. And so we have a cause, and there's a purpose to get a message out. With sex trafficking, it's in the space of education and prevention. So, yeah.
You know, it's so many business entities trying to address so many different issues we have so many issues. I mean, not just in the Black community, I mean, just worldwide issues. It's something happening every day. So your contributions through this is definitely valued and needed because, I mean, I see it from a youth level all the time. I don't go out a lot, just, hang out a lot, but working in schools, you get to see where our children, it's almost scary sometimes just to kind of look and see.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And one of the things that gets people's attention, and when I meet different people, 95% of the people that enter into sex trafficking are not violently kidnapped. Only 5% are violently kidnapped. So 95% are lured in, and they're lured in by someone that they know. And it could be their parents, it could be family members, it could be babysitters, it could be an employer, it could be a boyfriend, friends, and things like that. And so that's number one. And number two, another startling fact is that the same amount of time that it takes to order a pizza online is the same amount of time it takes to order someone, a boy or girl. We did a video, if you ever get a moment to look it up, it's called Public Service Announcement, Human Trafficking. You can pull it up on YouTube. It's about a 2.5-minute video that parallels that time, a guy picking up a pizza, and then it has subtitles. We have some facts down there for the public or for anyone that wants to view it. But the same amount, it takes about 90 seconds to order a pizza. Call Little Caesars or Napoli pizza at 6 Mile. Plug. Shameless plug. 6 Mile at 5 points. But if you order 90 seconds that it takes, somebody's being ordered. Someone is being bought. And the new auction block. I'm so glad I can discuss this around Juneteenth. The new auction block is the internet.
Mhm.
And a lot of our slave handlers and slave masters look like us.
That's deep.
Yeah.
You know, this hit home for me. Was it about a year or 2 years ago when they had that bust down on Michigan Avenue in some hotel or something? I was like, wow, this is like in our backyard for real, because you see it on TV, SVU, and all that.
Right.
But now I'm looking at it right here in our backyard. Like, that's crazy.
And the FBI put out a report that African Americans make up 40% of the people in sex trafficking in this country. And something that is just really startling in Los Angeles, we make up 92%.
Wow.
So let me give the statistic about only 5% are
violently kidnapped and 95% are lured. And one of the gateways, and one of the reasons so many of us African Americans, I can understand why that 40% is so high in this country, is because of the risk factors that are associated with people and how they unfortunately enter into sex trafficking, housing insecurities, and with this inflation and with the different things that are going on in the country, people are really having a hard time in terms of a place to stay. A lot of our young people are in foster care. Just long as my husband and I watched this film called, I think it's called Foster Boy, on BET, and we found out from 2020, there's 92,000 African Americans in the foster care system. And it may be a lot higher now with COVID and different things and how people end up in foster care. And a lot of times when people age out of foster care, if you don't have a place to stay, that puts you at risk. Children that run away, mental illness, substance abuse.
So is it at that point, where does sex trafficking differ from just regular prostitution? Because I was watching the Underbelly and they have young girls that just go into prostitution just because they realize they can make quick money, they need to take care of themselves or their siblings, and they make a decision to do this. So where's the line of demarcation between sex trafficking and just somebody to say, I'm just going to do this because I can make good money?
Well, definitely anyone under the age of 18 is being trafficked. There's no such thing as a child prostitute. Somebody's selling them and trafficking them. Somebody's selling them. But you can also be trafficked beyond the age of 18. I mean, we've had people as old as 84 years old, unfortunately, and people as young as a 6-day-old infant. And just to let you know how prevalent this is, when I first started researching, I think I spent about 7 to 9 months researching sex trafficking for a Dream Deferred, the play we did. It was at 32 billion, and now in 2022 we're at 150 billion. And a lot of times,
150 billion what?
Worldwide industry.
No. Dollars or people?
Dollars. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, dollars. Yes, $32 billion back in 2016 and $150 billion now. You can use people over and over again. And I'm being a retired police officer. When people score drugs or whatever to go out, people have to cook the drugs and cut it up and package it. You don't have to do that with human beings, and so you can sell people. And it's also easy to travel with people as well. If you're on a traffic stop and a canine dog can indicate on drugs, but a canine dog can't indicate on people going through airports and different things like that. So it's very easy for people, and they train the girls and boys to call them daddy or uncle or something like that. It's very easy to transport human beings.
So $132 billion industry, that says a lot about the world. That just says a lot about the world.
What I tell young people, and this is really sad, and I think high school might be too late for me to get that word out. I'm so glad that so many middle schools are allowing me to come in as well. Some people don't even know that they're being trafficked, especially young people, because a babysitter, and there's a lady named Teresa Flores that wrote a book about that, a neighbor across the street, where a neighbor was trafficking her. If you have a babysitter can sell you, and different people are coming in to buy a child, that child doesn't even know that they're being trafficked, and we have to talk about that, and that's one of the discussions that we have.
So is this just where the child is like, they're being babysat, but now somebody's coming in and touching on them, and they're being molested, and they're having this experience, and it's just like a family member coming in and doing this, but they're being sold.
It could be a family member. Anytime a transaction occurs, it could be money. It could be a bartering system. It could be for items, a PlayStation, Xbox. It could be for furniture, whatever. Anytime a transaction occurs,
And then
commercial sex, that child is being trafficked, or that person is being trafficked.
So let's talk about this babysitter. So you got a babysitter who's keeping a child. It doesn't mean that babysitter then gives that child away and the child is not born from the home. They can bring somebody into that home and allow them to do something too.
Yes.
It's crazy because growing up, and you say my daughter is 21 now, and we had conversations, growing up, but it wasn't these conversations, and definitely when I was a kid, it wasn't these type of conversations that could happen. I'm like a little blown over here.
Correct.
Tell me how they're lured, though. You said 95% are lured, and you talk about the internet. So, and this is so scary because we have Snapchat, and they have. I even had my daughter even met some girl, and they were like on Zoom talking. She's like, I want to go to Missouri to meet my new friend. I'm like, wait a minute, who is this person? And so one thing my mother was telling me is that maybe the friend could have a dad or somebody else that's coaching them to try to lure her in. So tell me about what's this luring process about? Because you would think that, okay, maybe we are teaching our kids to have common sense or to say no stranger danger. But what are some of the things that parents need to be aware of that we need to be privy of for our kids that are surfing the internet? Because they have phones and we just don't know what they're doing at all times.
You pretty much nailed it earlier in your conversation. It's grooming. It's the grooming process. And a lot of young people, I have a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old, they don't know how to turn off the controls on their social media oftentimes, the privacy settings. That's number one. And so, and you have with Snapchat, there's a geo mapping feature on Snapchat. So if they don't know how to turn that off, or every so many days, I believe, it will go back to the default settings. And if they're not careful, people will know exactly where they live. So that's important.
Okay.
So hold on for 1 second. So a lot of times it's talking to strangers. It's the grooming. If you've had a bad day, which kids are gonna get on sometimes and say, I'm having a bad day, I'm mad, it's Father's Day, my dad's not, and things like that, and you got somebody in your inbox, what you doing? You beautiful, you look good. Oh, you having a bad day. Oh, I'm sorry. And that's what they do. Over 750,000 child predators scour the internet on a daily basis. And so while we're sleeping at night, they're thinking of ways to get to our children, to groom them and to establish a relationship.
That's self-validation that we talked about earlier.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Strangers giving you this validation that you've been seeking.
That false, fake validation.
Yeah. And low self-esteem is one of the risk factors as well. People don't feel good about themselves. So people may have been sexually molested. I was sexually molested at the age of 7. And I have to bring that up when I speak to young people, and to let people know that these are the things. Sometimes I don't have low self-esteem, but I'm quite sure at one point in time I did, maybe as a young child or something like that, or young adult or whatever, teenage. But these are the things as parents we have to just watch out and be careful of. Yes.
Yeah, because what you're doing and what this is really all about is that we really need to be involved and keep our children close enough under us. A lot of times kids might, when you have young children, they get off school, you get off work, you're tired, they go in their room, you want to go in your room and chill. But we can't do that because you don't know what they on the phone in the room doing, who they talking to. So you almost gotta take all technology and then separate, because if you have access to technology, you have access to any and everything, and I can't regulate or control it if I don't know.
Right. We did a cyber safety and security for Sir Metro once, and one of the people had talked about some information had come out where a young girl, 8 years old, this was 2020, 2021, at COVID, when the young people, when children were at home and the schools had to give them internet and computers, 8-year-old girl, about third grade, was at home. they don't know how she was, and it could have been clickbait because there's a lot of things, even as adults. I mean, Coach purses, UGG shoes, there's different things you can click on, and you really think you're getting something and it's fake or whatever.
Right.
But somehow this young lady, this young girl was able to click on something, and she had began talking to some grown people, and they had her doing some nefarious things, and they told her to get her 5-year-old sibling involved. And the school district, the IT person, caught wind of it, and they shut down her services and talked to the family about it. The family is devastated. But I often tell people, if the child is in elementary school, middle school is still, my kids are in middle school, but if my daughter's on the phone, a lot of times I don't always know. We these talks, but if kids want to hide something from me, they can.
Yeah.
And we have to check their Google search history. Yeah. She knows, because she knows she hears me speak. She knows how to delete different things if she wants to. Very savvy. Very, very savvy. 8 years old and snuck in and was following another relative, and they got to Twitter. But I tell parents of very young people that have to be online now is to make sure that the computer's at the coffee table or the kitchen table. Make sure that it's out where adults can be around and watch. But a lot of times I do canvassing work, and sometimes you have teenagers watching young people, or young people watching themselves, and that there's nobody there to monitor them. So it's a reality. People have to go out and work. So.
Yeah, and we gotta be active parents. We can't just, literally, especially for those that have young children. I have an 11-year-old daughter. So a lot of people have, even with older children, you still gotta, with your adult daughter, but it's so scary. And these conversations they're so hard to listen to the reality of them, but we have to have them so that we can be more aware how we can stop stuff like this.
How did you get involved? I know there was a play. How did you get involved, and what made you do that play about sex trafficking?
I always tell people that I don't choose the topics choose me, and it's what burns on my heart the most. And I know I've got to go and write. And I think that particular topic burned on my heart for about 2 or 3 years. And it was a lady at my church. And she, I guess, would rescue people and counsel people. Dr. Sabrina Black would counsel people about sex trafficking, things like that. And she's rescued somebody out. And she pointed me in the direction of where I would go for all of my training and seminars and different things like that, and books to read. And so that started that. And I spent about 7 to 9 months, but it was just knowing that I had to do research for the play. Normally I move on. I've done Alzheimer's, I've done different things. Normally I move on, but I've been parked here for a minute. And when I'm parked here, I know that there's a purpose in
Absolutely.
me. So, and I know I'll be dealing with fentanyl in the future, and I've got a Black History, a really good Black History thing coming up that I'll be doing. I got to travel down to Alabama. There's a lot of good history down there.
So do you go into schools and do the play? How do the schools get in touch with you if they wanted you to come in?
Very good question. I work closely with the FACE department for DPSCD, but anyone can contact me at Stacy with an EYJ Consulting at gmail.com. Stacy with an EYJ Consulting at gmail.com. And then there's my website. We're working on that consulting website, but we have the Stacy with the EYJ Productions .com. We have that website up. So there's a couple of ways that people can get in touch with me, and they'll book me, and we'll come in. We were just up in Flint 2 days ago. I'll be spending quite a bit of time up in Flint. Hopefully we'll get up to Saginaw. Here's the nickname for Saginaw. Better watch it. Saginaw. We all here Sag Nasty. And hopefully Ben Harbor. So the goal is to get into these communities and school districts and churches and different things like that. Yeah.
So
No, I was just say someone would say listening to what you're doing, like that's hard. That's a heavy lift.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? It's a heavy lift. So what's the inspiration here?
It's a mandate, and I have to spend a lot of time in prayer. And I'm so glad you asked that. I get a little choked up. And I was at a school not too long ago, and the school district sent, and we've been blessed to have a relationship with the Imagine Theater. They give me theaters for free. not on the weekends, but they give me
Okay, but-
theaters. And CEO's a wonderful guy, and he gives us theater. You know, he gave us about 4 theaters to show the play, and they put it in that format to play. But it looks so good. But so we had a district, Westwood District is out near Inkster, like really across the street from Inkster. And one of the teachers saw it and just loved it and had me come in. I spent the whole day at the school, and you know, I found out from another staff member that their own sister was trafficked by their dad. This stuff is real, and this was not in the 2000s, and this was years ago. And so it is real, and it's not just strangers trafficking people. It's going on right in homes, and it's been brought to my attention that the school district, the PSCD school district, has had to rescue young people being trafficked by a step parent, and so it happens, unfortunately. And we have to go out, and when we go out and have these discussions, this disclosure that comes up as well. And staff, they know how to handle that as we would, you know, in law enforcement. And so
I like what you said though, mandated, you know, because a mandate is something that, you know, like you say, you didn't choose it, it chose you. So you're given the strength and the grace and the understanding, the knowledge to be able to do what you do. So we salute you, because this is an honorable work.
Thank you.
And somebody got to do it.
It can be difficult at times. Yeah. Thank you.
So when you all go out into the school, you said there's always usually some disclosure. Is it Chris, help me with the term. I don't know what the term is, where those teachers are mandated to.
They have to report.
Mandated
reporting.
Yeah.
They have to. There's a process, but they have to. If a child, now they can't go to kids and say who's being, but if a child says I am being molested and this is going on in my home, then they have to report it. Yes. Yep.
It's just so unbelievable. And it's heartbreaking and heart-wrenching, but it just goes, and like you said, you have to be on your child all the time, because it's not just the stranger danger, it's the uncle, older cousin that could be your babysitter. That is crazy. You talked about the upcoming plays or topics.
Fentanyl, that's next. We put a public service announcement. If you go on YouTube, you'll find that 3-minute public service announcement about fentanyl, and you'll see the statistics there. We're losing a lot of our young people to fentanyl.
So for our listeners, what is it and how are we losing to it?
Good question. Bobby Brown lost his son to fentanyl, and then an actor, one of my favorite shows, The Wire, who played Omar Michael, I forgot his Williams, succumbed to fentanyl. So fentanyl is a drug. It's a drug that they mix in. It could be prescribed through prescription medicine, but also through street drugs as well. And fentanyl is mixed in with drugs. It's cheap, and it has a euphoric high. It really gets people really higher than what they would normally cut it with, and it's cheap. And it's very deadly. It's very, very dangerous, to the point if a lot of officers who have come in contact with it have overdosed. That's how dangerous it is. And they have to carry narco on them at all times. It's very, very. Now, I haven't studied a lot of, the research, just a little bit, but I haven't really gone into the deep research of that. But that I can tell you.
You say they've come in contact with it and overdose. That means I don't even know.
If they're searching a vehicle, good question. MSP trooper not too long ago up in up north. So if they're searching a vehicle, you're supposed to have on gloves when you're searching up. And now I'm quite sure back, because leather gloves are real bulky when we would search. So sometimes you'll put on latex, but I'm not sure if he had on gloves or not. But this particular officer had overdosed just coming in contact. It's very strong narcotic.
So he didn't ingest it.
He didn't, just coming in contact with it.
Yeah, my aunt had, she got cancer, breast cancer, and she had fentanyl patches I used to have to put on her back. And one time it was a crack in the pack, and I touched it, and I didn't go wash my hands. I was throwing up for like an hour. Yeah, it's strong.
Very, very
Fentanyl's strong. Very strong.
And people get
cancer pain.
yeah.
So it's a pain med. Is it for pain?
Well,
Well,
that's what she was. That's what they prescribed. It
yeah, a
for her.
lot of it is for pain, but and again, I'm still in the infancy stages of that. Somehow, uh, people can get high off of it, and so when they're getting high off of it, of course, they're just a regular recreational, whatever.
It's an
But
opiate.
yeah, and it's killing people left and right.
So it's used as pain medication and together with other medications for anesthesia.
And,
Wow.
and so you can imagine somebody mixing that in a drug dealer mixing it, and they don't know or put, and so
And Dilaudid is stronger than that.
yeah.
Oh,
surprised.
absolutely. They gave me that when I had surgery, and I told them I couldn't take that. I was
Yeah.
like, y'all can't
Yeah.
give me that Dilaudid. I could not do
Yeah, that's crazy.
that. That is
Yeah.
wow.
Crazy. Yeah, I haven't done a lot of my research, but I did the video, and someone was doing some work at my home, and I had just gotten a video back, and I asked him, I said, "Could you take a look at this video? Let me know what you think." I didn't know him well. I just and he began to break down, and I'm like, I know the video was touching, but like, what's going on? And he said he didn't know his wife had an addiction to pain medication. And she had her sons had scored for her street pain pills for her, and it was street. It wasn't over the counter, and she ended up dying from fentanyl overdose. So,
Wow.
yeah, big issue. Yeah,
You didn't know that about.
I had no clue.
That's
I had
deep.
no clue. And he told me, he said, you got to go out there and sound the alarm about that. Yeah. Yeah. And I can tell you, I was in my home, and I knew, I think it was not last September, October, but maybe before then, where, God was like, you got to deal with this. He sees what we don't see.
That's true.
He sees what we don't see.
And
He
will set
sees
you
it, the
up.
parents. Yep.
Yeah. So before we get ready to close up, what's down the line for Stacey? What's down the line?
Down the line, a movie definitely about Dream Deferred. A lot of people say, "Oh, that's based on the Langston Hughes poem." It is, and it's but we're gonna do a movie and more stage plays. I love the stage. I love the stage. I know
I've been to a few. It's great.
Yeah, Detroit is really big. People are getting into the movies now, but I still love Detroit and live theater. Yes.
Live theater is what's up.
And
Being a playwright.
yeah.
Do you do any of that like with the kids? So like, are they able to learn how to do playwright stuff and theater stuff?
I ran a program. Funny that you asked, a few years ago, and I may be doing that again. That's another great strand of income to do that in the fall with a charter school. So yes, and then there's another project that I'm going to start working on, because a lot of people don't know there was a fifth survivor, September 15th, 1963, 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama, when the 4 girls were killed. There's a fifth survivor, and she has a book out. Her name is Sarah Collins Rudolph. Her sister was Addie Mae Collins, and she passed, but her story needs to be told. Yeah, and there were 2 young men that were killed that same day within 1 to 2 hours after the bombing. So I've got to go down there. I'm going down there, and I've been invited to go to the memorial and start the research. So
That's fantastic, because you always hear about the poor.
But told it'll be done here, but told through the eyes of young people of what it was like to be involved and have the hoses turned on them and dogs, and what it was like to march for freedom. Something that we take for granted here. So we do.
Once you do that homework, you go on a journey. You need to come back and talk to us.
I would love to.
Take
I would
us on
love
that
to.
journey
I
with
would
you.
love
Yeah.
to.
In the fall, we're gonna invite you back whenever what day it is. Yeah.
Thank you.
And have
I
you
would
come
love
and have
to.
a full segment with you. Thank you so much for coming and
Thank you
sharing.
for inviting me. I appreciate y'all.
That is extremely.
Life magazine did a picture of her. She has dolls over her. I found out that
TikTok, we won't quit. To love TikTok, we won't stop. To love TikTok, we won't quit. To love TikTok, we won't stop. Stop. Yeah. I won't make no promises that I can't keep to you. You've been misled, and I know you've been deceived. But if you bet the bank on me, baby, and believe, you'll see I'll give you the love. Good love. So right. 365, baby. Midnight to daylight. I don't wanna be yours. Just your late night lover. Oh, tell me how long has it been since you cast your fears aside and let someone in? Give me one hint, give me one clue. If you give me your heart, rest assured, I promise you, I'll give you love, baby. It's alright, I'm gonna love you so right, yeah. 365, yeah. I don't wanna be just your lady. I wanna love you every day. Good love. Said I wanna love you, yeah. I'm not gonna be just your late night lover. Oh, won't you play for me? Just let me be good now. So ooh, I don't wanna be your late night lover.
Mic check. Here we go. Perfect.
You got me.
Mm-hmm.
Testing. That's good.
Yep.
Oh.
All right, we good? Let me know, Terry. All right, this is the Real Nonsense Podcast with Chris and Mel. Special guest host Crystal L. Gunn. Celebrating Juneteenth on the Avenue of Fashion between 7 Mile and Pembroke. Come on down, come on out. Have a good time. Bring your family, bring the kids. Celebrate with the community. So today we have on the show Mr. Walter L. Epps, who is a candidate for Wayne County Sheriff. Voting primary is August 2nd. Very good. Welcome to the show, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
It's always good to be in the company of law enforcement.
Appreciate that.
And I'm dead serious. Hey, you keep us safe. It is what it is. Without law enforcement,
Well,
it'd be a problem.
It's good to hear that because a lot of people don't feel that way.
That's a
right?
problem.
Yeah.
I value it.
We do understand though why they don't.
Yes.
I mean, we do understand
Yes.
why we don't. Okay, you why? Wayne County Sheriff, tell us why you want to.
So why I'm running for sheriff?
Yes, please.
So I got a history with Wayne County. I grew up in the department, right? After I got out of the military.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your service.
Yep.
Appreciate
Thank you for
that.
your service.
Yep. I joined the sheriff department at the age of 22. Worked my way up the ranks, and I have ran and worked many of the units of the sheriff department. In fact, most units. So I have the best handle. I believe that I have the best handle, the best grip on how those operations work, and how we can best utilize them in the county. But that's why I'm running, because I have the best plan to make our community safe.
I'm 55, but it seems like I've heard the same name for Wayne County Sheriff forever. It seems like that. Like, I don't remember anybody other than, was it Evans, right?
So Evans, he was a sheriff after Facano.
Okay, Facano.
Then
Okay.
Evans,
Yeah,
and
okay.
then Benny.
And Benny.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Rest in peace.
New blood is always good, though.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Sometimes it's good to just have a different perspective in the house. I think somebody should be in a job like, in the school district, you have principals been there 20, 30 years. The school grows as far as you grow. Once you stop growing as a professional, the school stops
right.
developing.
That's right.
So sometimes you just got to get new blood.
Yeah. So those
Sports do it all the time.
and that's how it works, right? So we need that with the Lions, right? We could use some new talents with the Lions, right?
Is that what we need with the Lions?
Some talent, right?
I had a very bad Lions experience, a very bad one. It was very bad. In a store, actually. It was very bad. Yeah.
In a store?
Yeah, I was at Fairlane in the mall.
Okay.
And I was with my cousin and one of my friends, and they was like, "Hey, we get a Lions jersey." I was like, "Man, I ain't buying that crap. These guys can't play it." And two guys behind me actually played.
Whoa.
And they were kind of big. And they were like, "You dang, man, sorry you feel that way." I mean, they were polite, I knew, I could tell they were kind of irritated by it, but they came back and said, "Hey, I'm glad, I hate you feel that way." And then they still sucked that season, but they still lost.
Wouldn't sign the jersey, though.
But our fans, our Detroiters are unique in this aspect, and I don't know if you agree with this, Mr. Epps, but if they are loyal almost to a fault with some things, like we ride or die with you to the very, very end, or it's the polar opposite.
Yeah.
Yes.
We ready to eradicate you and wipe you off the face of the earth.
You 100%. Because I'm a diehard Lions fan, right?
Yeah.
We can't win a game, right? But I am a diehard Lions
Barry
fan.
Sanders, Billy Sims, all that, huh?
Yes. All the way back.
And so that die-hard mentality works with you die hard for the people.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, and I'll tell you, so I served our communities. I work with our child rescue unit, our fugitive our narcotics units, internal affairs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with people, right? And I'll tell you, once you've had it, and in most of my adult career, most of my responsibilities, I work for government agencies, and government agencies work to serve people, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So that's what I've done, and that's what I'm about. I don't think I would. I had one stint after I retired from the sheriff department. I worked at Blue Cross Blue Shield, right? As an investigator.
Oh, okay.
As an investigator.
Yeah.
So, but that's the only time that I didn't work government.
So you said you got a plan. Give us one point of the plan.
Ooh.
What's
What's the plan?
So remember earlier how we started by saying it's a lot of people that just don't feel the police like that, right? So I think my plan brings is the only one of reform, right? And it's my definition of reform, and I'll tell you, it's about fixing people. When we have men and women detained in our jails, that's the sheriff's best opportune time to help people. And this is my plan. This is my platform here. It's to bring services into our jails while men and women are in the jails, are detained, that they need that can help them be successful. And services like mental health, right? So while they're there, they'll receive those services, which is happening now. But what's not happening is when they release, those services follow them, right?
Yeah.
Because mental health is huge. Second is those with drug addiction problems. A lot of these men and women get arrested, get locked up for drug addiction, and it's because the petty crime that they commit. So I would love to bring those services to our jails, coaches, right? And there's different private organizations and government organizations that have these services to offer them while they're in the jails. And once they're released, it follows them, right? It helps them be successful. And then third, of course, the underemployment and no employment issue that we have, that we also familiar with. So if I can have an influence of men and women while they're detained in those areas, in those needy areas, I think they have a better chance of succeeding once they're released. And then we can reduce crime. And that's all measurable. We can actually measure our success rate.
Doesn't that take money? And I mean, because that, not saying it's like, I mean, I'm just saying, how you gonna get the resources to provide something like that? Because that sounds real good, but how it's gonna happen?
I love it. I love that question, right? So you're right. The county doesn't have it. The sheriff department doesn't have the money to foster those necessary resources, right? But there's private organizations, and I've been in touch with quite a few. There's government organizations. I'm gonna give you one, the veterans, right? The Veteran Administration. So they have the funding for everything that I just talked about, right? What they don't have, what a lot of these organizations don't have, is the people. They don't have the people, but the sheriff has the people, right? We have the audience right there in our jails. So Veteran Affairs, in any area that I talked about, under an employment, so they could bring training right to our jails. They could bring coaches, offer people with drug addiction problems right there. And same thing with mental health. They have mental health programs. The bill is on them. They'll foot the bill. We have the people, they have the services and the resources. And there's private organizations that do the same, that have the resources, like Families Against Narcotics. That's another big one. They can bring coaches right into the jails. And once these people are released, it follows them. They continue in those programs. So I love that question when people ask me that. Of course, government does not have the money, but there is money that has been secured for these private and government organizations to provide those.
You know what I like to see? I like to see us get back to the point. I mean, I know we had the incident, the tragic incident in Minnesota. Then we had another here in Michigan again. It's not a reflection of the entire entity of law enforcement. It's a very small, minute part, but get to the part where it's more restorative, do some healing, because now at every traffic stop, there are two parties that have a lot of apprehension at that point, and do not know what's going to happen. You got the person in the car, and you got the officers pulling up, and both are like, "Hey, right?" Because this. We could say, hey, it's open season on black men, but hey, in many ways, the police could say it's open season on police officers. Yes. They can say that legitimately. So I like to see us get back to that point when you become Wayne County Sheriff, that we can do that kind of healing, because it's even at 55, sometimes I'm kind of worried, and I should be, because I'm not breaking any laws. I don't have anything on me. But when I see the light, it's kind of like, okay, I don't know. Yeah, I used to know what to do and how to respond, right? But now it's like, okay, what do? Do I put my hands on the dashboard? Do I sit back in the seat? Do I put my hands over here? Do I put my hands on the window? Like, yeah.
Listen, you hit the nail on the head. And what we have to do it's unfortunate, right? But what we have to do in black communities is train our kids how to be pulled over. We really do, right? How to when you are pulled over by the police, how to react. Yeah. So I'm the same way. When I get pulled over today, I'm like, oh, let me turn on the lights, let me hold on. It doesn't matter, right? It's where I think there's an issue, and all this is on my website too, right? This is what I plan to do.
Which is
WalterEpsForSheriff.com. Yeah, WalterEpsForSheriff.com. And everything that we're talking about right now is on the website. But this is one of the programs that I would like to bring to Wayne County, right? The sheriff should take lead in a lot of our law enforcement initiatives. One that you mentioned, because people are concerned when they get pulled over by the police. Right. Just that whole association, why they're dealing. What I plan to do is this: is talk with or get with our partners in our 43 communities. And this is, again, we got Detroit Police Department and the other various police agencies. Some are very diverse, like Detroit, like Wayne County Sheriff Department. Those are diverse agencies with a mixture of white, black, ethnicity, right? But the other departments, they don't have that mixture like that, right? Mm-hmm. So what I would like to do is offer, right? And I've talked with some of these department heads, and they're all for it, right? And that's to offer some type of ethnicity or diversity training to the officers, and actually go over scenarios with pulling over a black or a person of color pulling over someone in a traffic stop, right, and host, we it's a training on both sides.
Yeah.
Because it's like you said, when the police have contact with a citizen or a traffic stop, they're wondering, "Oh, I hope this don't go bad." It's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
But it has a lot to do with race. I'll tell you that it does because some white officers and black officers, if they pull somebody over that they're not comfortable with, right, they will behave differently. The approach will be different. And so I would like to intervene, get involved in that, and say, hey, these contacts don't have to be violent. They don't have to turn that way. We just have to understand one another better.
We had a gentleman on here from let me get it right. It was Black Bottom Gun Club, right? So,
Black Bottom Gun Club.
Yeah, Black Bottom Gun Club.
Okay.
So he was here, advocate for people being able to arm themselves and legally and so forth and so forth.
And training and education.
And training and education, right?
Yeah.
So I talked to him about, with the current climate that we're in, is that impacting him in any way emotionally? Do you feel conflicted in some type of way? Because I was just kind of curious, right? Because I'm a licensed gun owner. I got a CPL, but I'm gonna be honest with you. And I just got it like 2 months ago, right? On 2 firearms, 2 handguns. I have zero desire to carry it at all at this point. I don't, because I don't know. I don't really know what the encounter is going to be. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't want to feel like I want to even think about if I get pulled over and I say, hey, so I'm supposed to say, hey, I'm a licensed gun carrier. And then I don't know how this situation is going to unfold. So I'm like, I just want to just drive without it. You know what I'm saying? I just want to. I don't really go anywhere but Walmart. I don't go anywhere. I live in Novi. I go to Walmart. I go to Myers. That's the height of my day. Right? And I'm in there every day. So it's not like a club. I really don't have nothing. Yeah, I really don't have nothing to worry about in that aspect. But it's so crazy out there. It's just like, yeah. I think if you carry a gun now, if you have a CPL license, you carry a gun now. I think most people should be very disciplined. Like, you got to have a lot of discipline mentally, emotionally, when you are a gun carrier, you have a gun on your hip, because you get mad, get emotional, you pull it out. That's another problem, So that's why I'm like, let me just not deal with any of this right now, because I know in summer is really nuts in Detroit. So maybe I just try it in the fall. But summer's just completely off the chain.
Yeah. And I'll tell you. When the gun laws first came out, I was a cop at the time years ago. Law enforcement, we were afraid of everybody getting guns because of that. Yeah, we were afraid, like, oh man, it's gonna be like the Wild West out here. But the fact is good people got, like yourself, got CCWs and were responsible. Yeah. And people who would otherwise think, I know I have a temper, and but that having that weapon on you, that invokes responsibility. That
just wanton fire, like every day it's like somebody getting shot in the nose.
But those those crazy folk in some instances too, they were gonna have a gun regardless of if they were licensed or not. Some of them, right?
Yes.
They were gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but we kind of shooting each other at a very high clip at this point. It's kind of getting ridiculous,
right? The world is mad.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, it's horrible, right?
It's crazy.
And how do we get on top of that, right? How do we get on top of, for me, for law enforcement, is we have to be right involved. We have to be right there in the communities. Yep, that's.
Oh, y'all can feel me.
No, go ahead.
But shooting up, some things can be avoided. I mean, the grocery store situation.
We was talking about this earlier because we was talking about CCWs and all that, and I don't have mine yet. But I have an open carry. But so what do that mean? Because I kind of feel like there's a population of people, when they see women with a gun, if I was open carry, they might try to snatch it from me. I saw a video of a girl in the store. She's like making a transaction. This guy came and just snatched her in the store. So part of me, but it's illegal because I can't just put it in my bag, because if the police stop me, they're gonna be like, okay, that's a gun charge. So how can I travel with my gun without a CCW?
So the only way, right? If you have an open carry, it has to be open, right? Mm-hmm. That's the whole point of it anyway, right?
Right.
Is to deter people from bothering you in the first place.
Mhm.
But I've seen there's been plenty of incidents where open
Mhm.
carry has had their weapons snatched.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's-
You're the first black person I met that open carry. Like, because most of them are white. I live in Novi and Wixom. They white. They open carry. They all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't open carry. I'm supposed to, but so anyway, that's another conversation. That's the reason why I'm trying to
Get your
get a clarity.
CCW. Get your CCW. Then you can avoid that.
But even in my car, like I can have the clip in the trunk, and then the gun's supposed to be in the glove box. Like, what I'm supposed to do?
So if you want to carry it legally, right? And
Yeah.
that's transporting. That's called transporting. Right?
Okay.
Not just hanging out with the gun, right?
Right.
At the park.
Right. Though. Right.
Because people confuse that, right?
Right.
They go to Bell Out and hang out.
Make
and
it
say,
clear.
Yeah, like okay, my gun is here, but they're out, but no, it's transporting. So if you're going from A to B and you're carrying responsibly, your
Right.
gun has to be registered right. Even if it's not registered in your name, you can have a clip or the gun in the trunk and then one up.
So as long as they separate, you're fine.
But if I can't have bullets in the chamber.
No bullets in the chamber.
Okay, so I can't have no bullets in the chamber.
Look, Q.
No, for real, y'all. I'm trying to understand. So what the bullets got to be in my pocket? Like,
No. The bullets have to be in the trunk. They have to be out of reach where you can't grab them. That's the whole.
At all.
okay,
Yeah.
so the chamber and the bullets got to be in the trunk, separated, and then the gun itself can be in the glove box.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
thank you.
So,
I mean-
sheriff department,
See.
police department, how do they differ? How do they overlap?
You're not getting them.
I got one. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
That's what. And so she had an important question here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sheriff department, police department.
Yeah.
How do they differ? How do they overlap?
So law enforcement agencies have their primary responsibilities. State police are primarily in the state of Michigan responsible for our highways, freeways and highways.
Right.
The police,
That's what I heard,
Detroit
yeah.
Police, Livonia Police, they're responsible for the cities.
Right.
The sheriff department is responsible first for the jails, the courts, and the parks. That's our
Okay.
primary responsibility.
Okay.
But then we have those other units I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Those are not really in the budget. Those a sheriff has to go out and seek the funding for, and there is funding for those different units, and then he can support the sheriff. He or her can support the other communities with those functions.
So when a DPD arrests somebody and that person is in jail, now they are your responsibility.
Yes, they become the sheriff's responsibility.
That is.
They still held under that Detroit warrant,
Sure.
and they're going back and forth to court on that charge. But now that's the sheriff's responsibility.
So you've been an officer for a long time. So, well, I don't know if you want comfortable answering this question, but I'm gonna ask you anyway. What's your take on the state of the police department in Detroit right now? I mean, through the changes, administrative changes, all the changes, probably for the last 10 years or so, it's been a lot of changes, and they're all drastic.
Yeah,
Right.
With the you referring to Detroit Police Department?
Yeah, just sure.
So I'll be honest with you, right? When you ask a law enforcement officer that question,
Mhm.
we look at the department and we understand they going through some stuff,
Right.
Big department,
Right.
a lot of crime every day, and one of you just said it. Somebody's getting shot and robbed every day, right?
Several times a day.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so much crime that they have to deal with that they have to categorize what they'll respond to first,
Yeah.
right? You
Right.
get people getting shot, people getting killed, and you get people getting raped, right?
Yeah.
And it's down, right? That stuff is down on the response rate.
Hmm.
So what they're going through quite a bit. They have a lot to deal with. Not to mention just citizens calling saying, "Hey, I got these kids hanging out, and this person just threw a brick through my window." You still got those to deal with,
Right.
but just not enough officers to deal with so much. But I think I'll tell you this: Detroit Police Department has always been hero to me because of what they have to deal with on a daily basis. And I've worked with them. When I was a deputy, we worked hand in hand, and that was our whole point as the sheriff's department, was to support them in their efforts. Yeah. But no, my hats off to them.
I've only had bad police experiences in the suburbs. I've never had a bad police experience in
That
Detroit,
makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. That-
particularly Livonia. I don't even get that out there. I just don't get it. But I mean, my encounters with the police in Detroit. You know what I don't like though is some school districts now don't use police departments anymore. I think that's completely ridiculous. And especially depending on what city you're in and all that. You know, you gotta have you have to have somebody in every culture, in every society who enforces the law. Otherwise, you have complete lawlessness, chaos, and anarchy. You've got to have people who can maintain order.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense
Yes.
to not have police.
You
It
have
doesn't.
to have that, especially in the schools, because who else can carry a gun, right?
Right.
Police officers. Security can't carry guns.
And I was gonna say, you damn sure can't get teachers' guns. I am
Oh.
totally against
I mean,
arming teachers in
It
schools.
should even be a topic of conversation.
It is,
I know,
particularly
but
in Florida.
It's just crazy.
Man, no, that is so ridiculous.
There's all kind of things happening in Florida.
Why should people vote for you?
So I bring that change. I bring that reform that people are looking for, and we talked about it earlier. But one of my plans, one of my goals is to bring the police, right, not just in the sheriff, but all around Wayne County, bring us together, so we can get past the George Floyd incident, these shootings against our black men, our young black men, and that we can become one with the communities, right? But what's important, what's wholly important to me, right, is that we are one. That the communities understand that the police are the communities and the communities are the police. That we live with, go to school, to the store with them, right? So we are one. We're not their enemy, right?
Right.
But so I bring that change. I think I bring that change, and then that new vision, right? I have that experience to bring these units. So the units we talked about, internet crimes, narcotics, those units are gone now, right?
Hey, what?
From the sheriff's department.
Oh, okay.
From the sheriff's department, not from the city of Detroit, from the sheriff's
Okay.
department.
Like,
And they're gone because the sheriff doesn't have the background that I have to manage those, to bring funding to the department to have them, because there's so much stuff going on, right? We just talked about Detroit. They really could use those services, right? Whether it's narcotics, whatever it is, right? A lot of what we have, when I was with the sheriff department, we had a lot of B&E. There would be a lot of B&E, but Detroit just did not have the manpower to deal with that. So they would call us, and we would go out and deal with that.
oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why it's so hugely important. And I just want to bring that law enforcement back to make our community safe.
Okay.
So we had another guest on. We were talking about activities, extracurricular activities, and things for kids. The lack of thereof. Like when I was growing up, we had Dexter Elmhurst Center. We had this park, that park, this gym, bustle. Like everything, we could go everywhere. We could do anything. So now it seems like it's taking the police department a lot to get a handle on youth. And I'm saying 13 to like 18. It's just like, seems like this.
So we need those programs, right?
Yeah.
We definitely need those programs. There was a program that we had when I was a cop, and it ended under Warren Evans, right? And it was a reality. It was reality tours, right? Where parents were able to bring their kids to the sheriff's department, right? And we would take them on reality tours to show them how the juvenile center look. These kids locked up in the juvenile center. Yeah. Adults look. What happens when you commit crimes? These guys are locked up for real. And then the inmates, they would have conversations with these kids, right? Wow. So those are programs, right, that we don't have, that I think that are hugely important for parents and their kids. But then on the brighter side, right, what I would like to do, right, is get kids to understand that law enforcement is a viable career. That you can, once you finish high school, and you could join a department. So we would have to do things outside of the scare straight programs and all that stuff that show kids and families that law enforcement is real. Yeah, and it's a viable career.
So would you say recruiting is kind of low? And if so, why?
Recruiting is horrible right now, and it's because of the impression that our communities have on law enforcement, and that's around the country. That's everywhere. Yeah. Nobody wants to be a cop anymore, right? When I applied to be a cop, I applied with state police, Detroit police, and the sheriff department. And each one, there were hundreds, thousands of applicants that I had to compete with. Now you have to bid, you have to go out and chase and find these people.
Yep. And that whole term, which I think makes no sense, defund the police, that just the term itself doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, right? Because you can't totally just defund the police department, because what would you do?
Right. Yeah,
it just doesn't make any sense. But it's a lot, and I think there's a certain level of personal responsibility as well, and it's the same thing that you see with the teachers. There has to be the police department can't do it all, the sheriff's department can't do it all, the teachers can't do it all, right? And so we want to put and say, well, the police doesn't do, or the And it's like you can't put everything on someone else. There has to be some.
But I'm gonna tell you, and I'll be honest. I'm not gonna get on my high horse with this at all. But I'll say this: one group that I didn't hear, and that was parents. And see.
Oh, but that's where it was going back to.
Yeah, that's where
Yeah.
it really
That's where it
starts.
starts.
And I'll say, and I've said this on the record, on this show,
Yeah.
Facebook, everywhere. My generation of parents, historic, probably the worst generation of parents this community has ever had, in terms of boundaries, setting parameters for their children, making them accountable, those type of things, did a bad job of that. We really
That
did.
you can do when you see my kids.
But we're not
15
making.
minutes
Yeah, but
when I've seen them every day.
yeah, we're
for
not
their
making
entire
parents.
life.
We're not making
Absolutely.
parents be parents.
Yeah.
We're not making them
Yeah.
be parents.
Yeah.
They have a responsibility sometimes.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
I remember a time, and I'm your age. I remember a time, right?
I'm 25.
Something over.
I'm 22.
I remember a time, and I'm sure some of us in this room remember this, where we would go up and down the street as kids, and the neighbors would come out,
Yes.
and we got to know our neighbors, and they would come out and whoop our butt if we did something wrong.
All day.
Or they calling your parent when they got home and
Oh, yeah.
telling them
All
to
that.
practice.
Yes.
Doing.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
And that's gone now, because if a neighbor says anything to a kid now, the parent
Oh,
will
it's a
jump down their throat.
It's a wrap.
Listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
That's not happening now.
That's not happening. Yes.
What do you want the people to know about you? What else?
So I do bring that change. I do bring that law enforcement experience, and not just that. And I'll tell you this, and I know I'm throwing a shot here, but I am the only candidate on the ballot with college education. Right? I have a bachelor's and a master's degree in accounting. So not only do I bring that law enforcement background, but that budget, right? I understand how their budget, their money works.
money.
Yeah, that's huge in the department,
Yeah.
right? Or in an agency. So I bring that again that we talked about earlier, bridging our communities with our law enforcement around the county, not just in Wayne County. I bring that, right? I bring that change, and I think that that's so hugely important and it's necessary and needed right now in our Wayne County.
And I don't know if it's different than any other body on the ballot, but I think also that you served in the military,
Yes,
and I think that
and you know what
helpful.
I didn't say is I'm still in the reserves,
Right.
an officer in the reserves. And I've been in the military. I've been affiliated for a little bit more than 28 years. So I can retire anytime. But law enforcement is paramilitary, right? It's paramilitary. So I haven't been, it's not like I've taken a break and been
Right.
out of the business for a while. I've been a cop. I've been in law enforcement and military, pretty much all my life.
And yet you want to
Get back into it.
Right.
Only because I know I can make a change. Yep. That's why.
And we need things to be different.
Yes.
They're gonna be.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna win. He's gonna make sure it's different, right?
And we
Right.
gonna make it happen. That's right. That's right. We call it.
Absolutely. Confidence is it. That's
That's
it.
right. There you
Confidence
go.
is it.
There you go.
So listen, again, the primaries are August 2nd. How many candidates on the ballot?
So for this, there's three. There's three candidates for this.
3 candidates on the ballot.
Yeah.
August 2nd.
Yep,
Okay.
August 2nd.
Well, listen, we wish you well.
Absolutely.
Thanks for stopping in with us and letting us and our audience know exactly who you are, what you're about, and what you plan to do for Michigan residents. It's a beautiful thing.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, and I enjoy it all the time with you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm about to slide over.
Hey.
In this very moment, I'm king. In this very moment, I slay Goliath with a sling. This very moment, I put it on everything. That I will retire with the ring, and I will retire with the crown. Yes, no, I'm not lucky, I'm blessed. Yes, clap for the heavyweight champ, me. But I couldn't do it all alone. We, Young Money raised me, grew up out in Paisley, Southside Jamaica, Queens, and it's crazy. Cause I'm still hood, Hollywood couldn't change me. Shout out to my haters, sorry that you couldn't phase me. Ain't being cocky, we just vindicated. Best believe that when we done this moment, we'll be syndicated. I don't know, this night just remind me of everything they deprived me of. Put get your drinks up. It's a celebration every time we link up. We done did everything they could think of. Greatness is what we wanna.
Mic check, mic check. Are we? Sound funny to me. Okay, I guess so.
Test.
There we go. There we go.
Relax your shoulders.
There we go.
Test. Test. Oh yeah. Hear me. Yeah, I had a hoarse person talking.
Huh? You hoarse?
Just a little bit.
Oh, we
You
don't
can
have.
hear me. What you was doing?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm embarrassed to say I'm hoarse since I went to the New Edition concert.
Oh wow.
How long was That's a that? legit
It
reason.
was too long ago.
I know, because you went to the New Edition concert.
I did,
And
but
I
I
got
wasn't.
hoarse, and
But
it's never fully come back.
That
I
was
wasn't
like-
hoarse though, because I wasn't screaming for that
Yeah,
much.
I'm a
Well, that's, you could be singing the
She
songs
said
though and go
Sister New
hoarse.
Edition
it's really
concert.
bad. It's really bad. I'm like a super fan.
Wow.
And it's never.
You had the shirt?
I might have to go see a doctor. Or
You had the shirt.
something. I do have the Body by Ricky Mike.
You wore it to the concert. The shirt.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Anything else would be civilized.
Yeah. Hold that. Hold that here. Absolutely. We ready to rock and roll? All right, Greatest Religions podcast with Chris and Mel. Welcome to the Juneteenth celebration. Come on down to Illinois between 7 and Pembroke. Bring your family, bring your kids. We got face painting, food, vendors, shirts, mental health, college alumni. We got everything in the house tonight. We rocking and rolling today. So our guests today are Meg Watt, mental health, and Erica Savage, MSU Black alumni, right? Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Right, MSU. I'm new to it.
Howard alumni.
Yeah, I'm kind of new to it.
FAMU.
Yeah, it depends on what game it is, what season it is, what sport. You know, like you kind of flip flop. Like, you know, I was Fab Five, Chris Webber, Jalen Rose. You know, then Draymond Green.
We have
Yeah,
Draymond.
so you
We
kinda-
have mid-team.
But that's when we Michigan people who didn't go to either one switched over to Michigan State. So we go back and forth.
As they should.
Right,
As they
right.
should.
As it should.
Too bad we don't have that option with the Lions.
We're not talking
Yes,
about
we
the
should.
Lions here this afternoon.
Yeah.
I'm having a good day.
We don't have that one. So, ladies, why don't you tell the audience a little about yourself? Who wants to go first? Let's just have a little conversation.
You go. You go.
Okay.
You, her?
Well, I am a dual alum of Michigan State University. I graduated there undergrad and for law school. And so in about 2007, I became involved in a wonderful organization, MSU Black Alumni, nationally. But I'm kind of dual role here, but I also am the vice president of the Oakland County chapter. So I've been involved with MSU Black Alumni for quite a while. And so, I can talk about it, whatever. I don't know if you have questions, but I can go all day. So.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of questions for that.
Okay.
So what about you, Meg?
So my name is Meg Watt. I am the founder of Soul Heal Sound.
Okay.
And we're basically a boutique mental health advocacy brand that focuses specifically on healing to heal trauma and stress and anxiety, especially in entrepreneurs and corporate employees.
We reviewed today, what? How many? 5 mental health
Quite a few,
therapists?
but not. But
And it still doesn't seem like there's enough in the
yeah,
world.
because
does it?
it's so many different parts of it or variations of it.
That's right.
That, and I like what she had saying about sound, because we have not dealt with a mental health professional that deals with sound and what we like frequency and all this good stuff,
Oh,
right?
frequency. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Mel,
Yeah, we're going to turn down the music because she got her
She
ball
got
and
it.
she ready to give us. So
I didn't know how it was gonna come through the mic, but if we can do a little sample,
yeah, that would be awesome.
oh, wow. That's
slow everybody down a little bit.
Okay, so I guess I'm gonna start with you, Erica, because I'm gonna have her do some sound, and then I don't know what Chris wants, but anyway,
Hey, Chris
Give
is
me a
going
minute.
in all this right now. I'm good.
I'll figure out how to make us go together as an interview.
Thank
That's
you.
right. That's what I was
I'm
thinking. I
already
was like, this
thinking
is dope.
Oh, you
we have
bad.
a lot of smiling sound anxiety issues.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we can. I'm gonna
Oh, we
make it.
all work together,
we're gonna
especially with
blend
Black
it together,
alumni
like, oh,
of
yeah,
predominantly
we're
white
gonna have her
schools.
at our next event.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
she's gonna have a booth at home.
Okay, well, go ahead. Okay,
I don't been to state homecoming
You're a
probably
large-
too much.
Yes.
There's a lot of students at MSU, though, right?
Yes, we have
Okay.
the largest in the state. We probably have one of the largest in the country.
wow.
I mean, I'm ready to go. I can rattle off all about it.
You
I
said
just
you're a
didn't-
law student.
No, I'm a lawyer.
Oh,
But
you
I
are a
went to
lawyer.
Michigan State for law school.
Got you. So you practice law now?
Yep, for the city of Detroit.
Really? Okay.
Wow. How's that
Awesome.
going?
It's going. That's a whole nother podcast. We can come back for
Oh, that's
that.
a whole
Okay,
nother
we'll come
show.
back for that. Okay.
All right. Yeah,
So
let's
what do you
let's
do
keep
for
it on
the
MSU.
alumni association? That's
So-
just making sure that everybody's case connected, or
Okay, so yeah, I have kind of like a dual role, but I'm here as the vice president of the Oakland County chapter.
Mhm.
So we have, since we've been founded in 1980, we have about 9 chapters across the country. So the biggest ones are pretty much Detroit, Oakland County. We have one in Lansing. We have one in Dallas, Atlanta.
How many members you can count?
to hit 100 members. Oh, 75. Okay, our goal is 100. But nationally, we have tons of members. But so because the Detroit chapter is a very large chapter as well. So Oakland County is fairly new. So, but basically what we do as a whole is we provide a lot of programming, resources. What we're probably most known for is our Black Alumni Weekend homecoming in Michigan State. I think that pretty much resonates very well.
Oh, really? Is that off the hook? I've never been.
When is that? It's every year in the fall.
Okay.
We do it at
It's a good
Michigan State homecoming. That's kind of was the foundation of how we grew. So that's kind of what we're known for. But what we do is scholarship.
Oh,
so
okay.
we provide. Our endowment now has grown over $2 million. And Oakland County in general, we're growing our. I think we're around 10, 20. And so what we do is we have we have a little thing. The Constitution kept us from saying it has to be for Black students, but we have things that we do for low income needs students, first generational students like myself. I was not a scholarship recipient because I didn't even know about it, but I would have qualified for it. But so we do that every year, and we have, I think, about 17 named donors throughout the country who help us with our scholarship for our students. And so, including Magic Johnson, and there's a lot of Gregory Eaton, the guy who founded MetroCars. We have a lot of people who have put scholarships in their name for our students. So every year we have applications. A lot of Detroiters apply, and it's just an awesome thing. I'm so proud to be a part of it.
What made you choose state? What high school did you go to?
Went to Southfield High School.
Southfield?
I went to Michigan. My sister went to Michigan State. My sister went to Michigan State because my aunt went to Michigan State.
Oh, so it's a family thing.
It's kind of a family thing. And now my niece goes to Michigan State. So we're Michigan State.
So you get along with your Wolverine friends, right? You get along a little bit?
I mean, God loves everybody, right? Oh. So I'm a child of God. So we
like that answer.
Y'all way more scandalous than HBCUs. Like we joke around, but y'all are killers. Like
we make it work.
There's no love between state and U of M. None.
I didn't say that. We are different institutions. We are not alike. No relation.
The only thing y'all both got in common is y'all both hate Ohio State.
And we are not any. Well, they hate them more than we do.
Oh, okay. Because y'all actually, you can say y'all actually win.
Well,
that's what you were going to say.
If Michigan and Ohio State play, we cheer for Ohio State typically.
Right.
Because we don't want Michigan to win.
Right.
So.
And you beat Ohio State more than Michigan does.
Recently. Yes.
Right.
I mean, but I can,
I did my homework.
It is what it is.
Well, I have a question about the scholarship thing.
Yes, ma'am.
So for the scholarships, is that only for MSU students?
If you're going to Michigan State, so yes,
you have to be okay.
If you're attending Michigan State, but we do award to undergrad and graduate students.
Okay.
But yeah, we are there to mainly support the incoming. We have to remember, if anybody knows Michigan State history, it used to have a really bad racial tension history. Organizations like this needed to come about because there was a need to try to do something to support. We not only support the students, we support the faculty. Michigan State had the first Black college president in the country, Clifton Wharton. So it has made a lot of strides, and we are, I Google it, I'm pretty sure that we probably have the largest endowment of any predominantly white institution in the country, because we've just built it strong and we built it big. And we have, in Michigan, we have the benefit of having so many people who graduated here and help give back to the program and give back to the scholarship. I wish we could give to more, quite frankly, but our endowment is actually with the university. So.
I think you said, did you say $2 million?
Our endowment has grown to $2 million. It started with $1,000 that was donated back in 1980, and now it's over $2 million.
Wow,
that's amazing.
Wow.
Woo!
And we're gonna have people like this young lady come to our homecoming and get a booth and take care of all of us. 'Cause we have tons of vendors who come to homecoming, and we're gonna make sure that she comes.
Okay. Miss Meg, tell us about this Soul Heal Sound. Tell me how that came about. How long have you been doing this?
Yes. So I will tell you, I did 12 years of therapy before I came into sound healing. So I had tried over 30 different healing modalities, and this one just stuck. This one got rid of the anxiety.
Oh, okay.
This one got rid of the depression.
Wow.
This one got rid of the grief. the asthma. I haven't had an asthma attack since I've started sounding.
Wow.
Work stress. I was in a wheelchair at the age of 27, and I'm a college athlete. I played softball for Howard University.
Oh wow.
Wheelchair, walker, cane, $44,000 in healthcare in 2017. My husband and I have spent.
Wow.
Came into this. I'm Gucci, bro. We about to go golfing after this.
Are
I'm
you
driving the ball.
serious?
I'm driving the golf
Okay,
ball
I'm about to
200
go-
yards.
I got a deep end question
Let
because
me-
I've been telling myself, like, when I get in the car, I'm tapping into my God frequency. I'm on my
Yes.
God frequency, and that's me telling myself that I'm up here. I'm not thinking about stuff down here. Like, I have to be
Yeah.
conscious about what I'm thinking about, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
with
all of
sound,
that is elevating your frequencies.
yeah. So
Yeah.
how do we tap into our God frequency?
You basically you do things like sound healing that
Okay.
elevates your frequency,
Okay.
because we all are on this line of frequency, and depending on what what enters into your life,
Mhm.
that is going to decrease or elevate your frequency. So how
Okay.
you tap into it, obviously sound healing is one modality, but like there's tons. Talk therapy is one,
Mhm.
acupuncture is one, yoga is one. Like basically any form of meditation is going to elevate your frequency.
Okay.
But this one is really non-striving. You ain't got to do nothing but just show up and fall asleep.
So is there a specific sound to accomplish a specific purpose?
So that's like a really deep question that like
She's
when I
like that.
train-
She goes there.
when I train practitioners, they all want to know like, okay, so when it makes this sound, what happens?
Mhm.
And the best way to answer that is like all of the sounds are connected to our chakras or our energy centers throughout our body.
Mhm.
And every time there is a blockage in your energy systems, that's what causes the disease and the pain, right? But all of these instruments, they just clear the blockages. So they all start at like 400 hertz, which is automatically acceptance. That's the emotion of acceptance. So no matter what's popping in your life, you're going to be accepting. You're not going to resist what's happening. And we realize in life, when we resist stuff, that's when stuff just keep coming.
Right.
When you try to resist. But this just helps you get to a place of like love and kindness and compassion, clarity and focus, empathy.
So is it just listening, or should we be like breathing a certain way while we listen?
Yeah, I do a little guided,
Okay.
meditation to get you into it.
Okay.
But I also tell people like, don't judge yourself for whatever is happening during the process. Like if your mind is wandering, that's okay. Just think the thoughts and then just go back to your breath or go back to your body. Don't judge yourself.
Do y'all want to try this?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
I
Y'all
want
turn the
to
music
take
down.
I want to take a guess at something real quick. So I'm
A
gonna take
guess?
a guess. Yeah.
What?
Shortstop, right-handed.
I actually third base and I bat left-handed.
Oh, I
What
was
made
off.
you guess right-handed?
I don't know. More right. Yeah. Wait a minute.
So it's
Yeah,
weird with the
more right hand movement
Yeah.
than left.
I do a lot with my right hand though.
Yeah,
I
that's what made me
golf
say that.
left-handed, but I throw with my right, shoot a gun with my right. Can I say that on the podcast? Okay.
Mhm.
But I do a lot. I strike the gong with my right hand too.
Oh yeah.
The gong is the big round
Yeah.
symbol. I had that outside earlier.
Oh
But
wow.
yeah. Okay, so what?
Yeah, let's check it out.
How much time do I have? 2 minutes? 1 minute?
Girl, you got all the time you want. Go ahead.
All the time
Take
I
us.
want.
Take us.
No.
to
Make us fall
Neverland.
asleep though.
I want to hear
Don't
it.
make us fall asleep. 'Cause
Okay, let me do a sound check. Can you hear it? Can you hear it in the microphone?
yeah. Can you put the mic a little closer, or I don't know?
Okay. Like that?
Yeah,
There
that
you
might
go.
work.
Oh, you turning me up. The engineer got me.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So just go ahead, like relax your eyes, guys. Like don't feel like you need to be looking or thinking or focusing. You might
Mhm.
you might fall asleep. So I'll just go for like 2 minutes and you'll see how powerful this is in 2 minutes. So let's just begin by taking a deep breath. So I want you to inhale nice and slowly through your nose. Feel your belly expand, feel your chest rise, and release through your mouth. Okay, normally we would take 3 to activate that parasympathetic nervous system, which is the opposite of that chronic stress system. So I just want you to observe your breath for the next couple minutes and just see how you feel. And whatever thoughts come, just thank them. Put the welcome mat out. Be gentle. Relax your shoulders. Relax your arms. Relax the muscles in your thighs. Relax your jaw. Relax your eyebrows. Relax the fingers on the right hand. Fingers on the left hand. Just become present with your body. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to your thoughts. And thank yourself for taking this time out for self-care and self-love. And thanks for joining me. So as you come to, you can wiggle your fingers and toes, take a couple swallows, take a deep breath.
Yeah, that was like relaxing. I was ready to go. Like, I need a yoga mat.
Yeah, you want to lay down. You'll fall asleep for sure. Thank you guys for allowing me to do that. Okay. We had a Juneteenth celebration doing sound healing with my people.
Absolutely.
Hey, let's do.
I feel that. Thank you.
Podcast
Thank you for
could be
that.
what I was thinking about. I
What'd
was
you
thinking
say?
about a lot.
Did it like calm, or were you kind to
I
thoughts?
started thinking of things I didn't think I was going to start thinking about.
Okay,
It's a
yeah,
good
it
guest
brings
list.
clarity
Oh.
and focus. Like people finish and they're like, "Oh man, I got all these business ideas I want to do," or they start writing down afterwards.
So do you have sessions? Like, how can we join?
Yeah, so check me out. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. Soul Heal Sound. Soul Heal Sound, where we heal the soul through sound. And I do private sessions now, and I do sounds like sessions with corporations.
Oh, good.
So I try to focus specifically on my diversity, equity, and inclusion minority groups at these corporations.
Mm-hmm.
And I do private sessions. So I've worked with the Deltas. I've worked with a couple nonprofit organizations. But yeah, anybody.
That's good. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guests
Mm-hmm.
dealing with mental health meditation today.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's really good for our audience. I think that's a good thing, right?
We need it.
And I think it
Yeah.
says something. I mean,
It says a lot.
not culminating, but just celebrating Juneteenth and economic growth and development for Black people, but then also on that path, taking care of our mental health and exploring the different variations, what you say, modalities of what we can
Yes.
practice
Right.
to accomplish it. Right?
Yes, there's
I
no
love
wrong
this.
answer. Yeah.
Do you really love it?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
But he's relaxed right now. You gotta let him back because he's
Yeah, he ain't came back. You're right.
he's still like in the meditative state here.
Like you smoked a J or something.
Exactly.
Over there.
We actually call it a gong high. Like after a
Oh.
full session, people are like,
They're like, I've been gone.
"Where am I?"
That was the deal.
And that was just a couple minutes. A full session, you out.
Beautiful. All right, and Miss Erica, for anybody that wants to get connected to the MSU Black Alumni Organization Association, who needs scholarship funds, whatever they need to do to donate, what do they do?
Yes, I will tell you that, and I have to get in my plugs here because I'm like, I forgot a couple things, but I can't. I got to get it in here.
Give us the
So
plugs.
yes, so membership to MSUBA, MSUBAOC.org. So that's our website, MSUBA OC, that's for Oakland County.org. You can join both nationally and the county. And like I said, there's other chapters. So if there's other chapters someone is interested in, we can direct them to that person. MSUBA Oakland County, we're having a green and white gala. Later this year, the tickets go on sale on July 1st, and we are looking for sponsors and people to promote in the business community for the event. That information for that can also be found on our website. We also have, if anybody's out there who may listen to this has a freshman coming to Michigan State, we have our 7th annual Welcome to Sparta event is at the MSU Detroit Center, which is right there on Woodward. And that will be next week. Oh, I'm sorry, not next week. Next month, July 9th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Very good event. People come, bring their parents, bring their siblings, things like that. People who may be interested in Michigan State sometimes come with people, but it's for Spartan. And we have also people who come from the university. It's great. It's a great event. And I think that's all my plugs. Did I miss anything? I'm here with the community service person, Miss Deanne. Did I miss anything?
Hey, Miss Deanne, how you doing over there?
Okay.
You're supposed to be repeating what she's saying so they can hear you.
So
Eric.
yes, we have a Spartan because we thought
They
two of
can't.
us. She's a community service person, so we have a Spartan Day of Giving that we do. We do a lot of partnerships for Forgotten Harvest and for Vitality St. John's. We also have a Spartan Giving that she's talking about. We have an adoptive family. I mean, we do so many different things. So if someone breast cancer walk, we do pretty much the average thing that any other organization does, but we do it with the focus of having common interests of people in the MSU community or the education community or people, organizations that support people to recruit and retain into higher education. So
Wonderful.
we just do a lot and we're very proud of it.
Awesome. Will guys come back and see us in the fall?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the
Be
biggest plug,
guests.
MSU Homecoming, come out. I think it's October 14th, 15th, 16th. Always a great time. We always have a big tent, DJs, celebrity DJs. We always have everyone comes through. Last year, Izzo came. So we get a lot of traction at the MSU Black Alumni
Maybe
Tailgate.
we could bring the show to them, man.
Yeah,
Bring the
maybe.
show to us. I'm
If you
serious.
guys need us to host, we'll come host.
Well, we have people
Absolutely.
host, but we will have you guys also there. If we can come, we'll take that plug.
Awesome.
Okay.
We turn
Awesome.
MSU out that weekend. We good.
Yes, we're
Real
good people.
nonsense.
We're good people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you, ladies, for coming by. We
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
Yay.
Yay.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you.
Hey, that was awesome.
Now I'm about to go take a
So
nap.
you got a table out there?
Are you guys saying where you are? Let me give you my card.
Right.